Hello.
Hello.
Hut.
Hello.
I never noticed that when Link was holding that coil of rope, it'll spread out when he jumps to the right, but not to the left. That's a very close attention to detail. That's nice. As an animator, I didn't even. That's nice.
Oh, so when Pokemon get too realistic, it's a problem. But when Zelda does it, it's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
He got you there,
Thank you for
Bread
coming
Boy.
to my TED Talk.
Giant pig goblins are realistic business.
For some reason, I just want to see Pig Ganon in a business suit now. If he said that.
I mean, yes.
Pig business is real business. Oh yeah.
So welcome to the first of the partner dungeons of the game. These are really super great because now we're gonna, get the whole Nintendo branded way of being introduced to mechanics, learning how a mechanic works, and then implementing that mechanic a bunch of times until we, use it to beat the boss, because that's the Zelda formula and Nintendo has it so down packed. It's great.
What doesn't work about that is the fact that each dungeon, when you've never played it before, can take between 20 and 40 minutes, and so by that point it becomes very obvious what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
But they're borrowing this concept from what they do with Mario, which is they take a concept and they only use it for a level, and in that time span, it's a lot more forgivable.
Yeah. What is it? I'm trying to remember. There's a guy who describes it as cadence, but basically, you have level cadences where basically the whole layout of mechanics.
Throw her at the slimes. Isn't it a little odd? Isn't it a little odd that the only way for her to do anything is for you to literally possess her?
Yeah. That's questionable.
It's more than question.
That's bad.
But it's because she gave consent, so it's okay.
It's fun to, have multiple playable characters, but it really should not be based off of using the song of gaining possession over other things. Like, you could have just kept that song as a whole statue possessing thing and then just talk to Melly, be like, hey girl, it's your turn, high five, here we go. But nope, gotta use the controlling song.
What I hate about this dungeon, is it this dungeon or the one with Makar, where they have to get captured by a floor master?
It's the next one.
Okay, yeah, the next
Save
one.
it. Put a pin in
Makar
it.
has to be fine. So,
Stay.
so who here likes pie?
Turn your phone off. I'm sorry.
Becca's texting me. You want me to ignore my girlfriend? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah?
Very. What the fuck? Oh god, she just used the word hella. I'm getting rid of her.
What I hate about this game is nothing.
No one cares.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Mia, what you were saying?
I said I don't hate anything about this game. That's why I can play it twice, because I played it twice.
The benchmark for me with playing a game. But I played Smash Brothers once, never again.
Well, I mean, that kind of reflects how I am about movies. Like, I never ever buy movies unless I'm in love with it. because I have no interest in seeing a film a second time unless it's incredible.
Oh no, I meant twice in a row.
Oh, gotcha.
It's different.
She's got me beat in terms of how much she loves this game. I mean, I had quite. It took me multiple, like, discs to get through the game once.
Damn.
Well, the bar for me, what games is usually the only ones I have. This was the only game I had for a long time.
Yeah, Carrie was like that. One of the only games she had was Glover, so I laughed at her. I laugh at her about her terrible childhood at least once a day.
That was me with Ocarina of Time. It was like my.
That's a good game.
No, I'm glad that my one N64 game other than Rogue Squadron, which was glitched out for some reason, was Ocarina of Time.
Amazing.
No, it was glitched out. So the level where you had to use the like cable to beat the AT-ATs, it wouldn't work properly. So I couldn't beat the fucking level. So my only like working N64 game was Ocarina of Time.
Name the game.
I got all my PS1 games from my cousin who was done with his PS1, so I had like a whole selection of games. It was like
last week.
There was Crash 1 and 2, the Spyro trilogy, Cool Borders, a whole bunch of sports games, Shrek Treasure Hunt. It was all the classics.
Okay, Mexi, you can only have sex with one Zelda character and it can't be Link. Who is it?
Ganondorf.
Which Ganondorf?
This one.
Ganonthong.
The one from Hyrule. Hyrule Warriors.
No, dude. If you know me, you know that the best Ganondorf is Ganonthong, the concept art of Twilight Princess Ganon, where he's got that nice ass midriff and fucking thong at. Ganonthong is best Ganondorf.
Ganonthong, oh my god.
Steven, same question, but you can't fuck the Deku Tree.
Okay, Link.
Damn it.
No, but you already said you can't
Which
pick
Link?
Link.
Which Link?
Toon Link. Damn it!
Toon Link from which game?
The joke is that he's a child. It's supposed to be shock value, but it didn't work.
But you already said he's too old for you.
You make that joke in every OP, it's lost all meaning now, Steven.
We've got you now.
You're already on the FBI watch list of YouTube OPs to keep an eye on.
I want everyone to know that the joke is not about children. The joke is about shock value. That's all it is.
You're right, tell that to the Supreme Court, you sick fuck.
Okay, I'll write a letter, dear Supreme Court.
It's about shock value, but all of your S's are backwards. It's written in red crayon.
So, birds eat bread, and this is Bread Boy, so...
Oh, she gonna eat that dick, alright?
Ooh.
Hey.
Good for her. I mean, this is a girl who's had to deal with child-ass shit.
See, how come, like, when you're stuck in playing the PS4 Spider-Man game and you're gonna get to the fucking boring-ass Mary Jane sections, why can't you turn into a bird and fly like in this game? This game is way better than Spider-Man on PS4.
I mean, no one's arguing that Wind Waker is a better game than Spider-Man.
And before Stefan's like, I love playing as Mary Jane, she can't do shit, gets captured way too easily.
But you get to play as someone other than Spider-Man in your game titled Spider-Man.
It's like if the game was called Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, I'd be like, okay, that implies I'm gonna play some other people.
Gareth Spriggs,
And his amazing
as a man who defends Sonic Adventure every day of his life, how are you gonna go and be mad about Spider-Man letting you play as Mary Jane?
And Miles.
Because they can't. All they can do is walk and get captured. They're like really boring stealth sections. That's why it's annoying.
You know what would make a good good game is Spider-Verse. That'd make a good game.
Dude,
Shattered Dimensions.
Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions.
Basically.
And Shattered
The
Dimensions
one
is
based
what.
on the movie.
Well, Spider-Verse was influenced by Shattered Dimensions,
Don't care.
so it's the
Oh,
original.
dude, quick, offset again. This tidbit will not mean anything to people because what I'm about to say would have happened months ago. But on the digital and Blu-ray release of Spider-Verse, they're putting in like an alternate version of the movie.
Yeah.
Based up mostly of deleted scenes and shit. And I can't get Spider-Verse is a movie I'm fucking buying because that movie was
That's-
too fucking good,
Well, it's the best superhero movie.
without question.
Yeah.
And that's just so cool to see like an animated movie do like
Oh, shut up,
a
Maxie.
full alternate assembly cut of just other random scenes that they're originally gonna do.
The only other movie I can think that did that was the Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie DVD. Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Beauty and the Beast had like an alternate cut where it was the original pencil test. That's the closest I can think of.
wasn't the movie mostly the same? I don't
Yeah, it
remember
was
anything
mostly.
different.
I just mean like a different assembly cut. Like I think they said in the we'll know by the time this is released. But I believe they said like some of the scenes are going to be like not completely finished.
Oh yeah.
But
well,
it's still,
well,
yeah.
I guess the ultimate version of that is the Richard Donner cut
Yep.
of Superman 2, where some like it goes from like the stuff they filmed and then it goes to like really low res like screen test material. The Richard Donner cut, it's an interesting idea because again that is like one of the biggest like what if type like versions of a movie that did not come out, but it's still like it's a hard watch, I think.
I think the
Richard
only
Donner
I think
cut.
the only real problem with the Richard Donner cut is that it doesn't have an ending. That just kind of like stops and like
I have
repeats.
no idea what you
the-
people are talking about.
So the
How's it feel?
the original Superman movie in the 70s was directed by a man called Richard Donner, and he was making Superman 1 and 2 at the same time during production. Things were going over budget and they were going over schedule, so Warner Brothers decided just finish 1 and then we'll go back and do 2. So
Oh, see, you could have just said that.
so he finishes 1 and then he gets fight Stefan. The reason why that cut doesn't have an ending is because they took the ending they were going to do
Yeah.
for Superman 2 and put in Superman 1.
Yeah, I know
That's
that.
why it doesn't have an ending.
I have a question about the game for Armando. So every strategy I devise for the enemies I figure out by myself. But
Alright, humble brag.
Weird flex, but
Honestly, it's the
No,
best.
Like
no.
to meet you. Shh.
no, I mean, but I never figured out the best way to beat these skeleton men. I know you bombed them, but I can never catch the head. I can never seem to find a good strategy for catching the head. So do you know what?
So, I mean, bombs are definitely the best strategy for Stalfos Knights in general for Zelda games. That's kind of an Link to the Past reference about keeping the skulls alive. But I do know that there is a way to just straight up skip this entire boss fight, which it was kind of one of the
That's the
it was one of the earliest mini boss skips, and one of the best things was that it made this mini boss theme play for the rest of the dungeon, which I mean it's one of the best tracks in the game. So hey, to replace the Earth dungeon theme with that ain't bad. But honestly, aside from skipping, yeah. Meanwhile, I think just playing it defensively, staying far away, making sure you don't get hit, and using double damage from soup is gonna. I mean, the later dungeons are pretty simplistic in their battle damage there, or battle
Yeah,
strats.
yeah.
I mean just when the head's about to blow.
What's the best way to kill these bats?
Yeah, because if you get it with a bomb, it won't be able to get up again if you place a bomb where it's going to get up. But it's difficult to hit the head. And thinking about it, I should have spun or held a spin until the head got closed and then spun. And then that would be it.
Well, Miwa, you got 60 bombs. You got bombs to spare. You could have just thrown a shit ton of them.
Bombs?
Could
Well, yeah.
have had like a bomb
Oh,
Yeah.
I see.
montage.
Against the head. Yeah.
You didn't think about that, did you?
No, but I don't know if they would have hit.
If you throw them everywhere, they'll hit.
You just fill the entire room. You just say, you know what? We're done with Wind Waker. This is Bomberman 64. Have fun.
Bomberman Hero. Why didn't you reference that one?
There's a
I
Sorry.
didn't have a lot of games on the GameCube. I didn't know if there was a Bomberman on
Called
it or not.
Blockbuster, Mexi. We're millennials. We grew up with Blockbuster.
that sorry.
Go on.
That's if you saw there, that lantern hit me mid jump, and I thought that was interesting.
It made you jump?
No, it hit me while I was jumping. It hit me mid-air. The
Are
lantern.
things allowed to do that?
The lantern. No, it's just very unlikely to happen.
You didn't destroy the wall and get the rupees. Miwa.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
Waste of time.
That floor master was trying to get you.
Fly.
I don't have a good strategy for them either, except just to hit them.
Okay.
Floor masters?
I would like to say that Wind Waker does a good job of taking the horror that is Floor Masters and adapting it to the cutesy style and still keeping the just horrific value of the Floor Masters. Like, it does. They worked in Ocarina of Time. They worked in Majora's Mask. They work in this game. Just Floor Masters scare the shit out of me. So bravo, Nintendo. You done fucking
Hands
with my
are
head.
scary.
Hands are scary, dude.
They scare me because they waste your time if you go back.
See, for that exact reason.
No rip speedrunning strats.
Oh no, time.
Oh no, the relative human construct.
Well, if you die, you start from the beginning. But if they catch you, you have to. If they catch Medley, then you have to go all the way back to the start to get her again.
Yikes.
So is the giant statue like a derivative of the Gerudo statues that were erected in Ocarina of Time, like the Desert Colossus, as like what the Gerudo culture became before the Great Flood showed up, or what the heck's up with that?
Maxie, you're asking questions that the developers did not ask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, you forget Miyamoto doesn't give a fuck about the
Well,
whole
he-
story or the world.
he-
of Zelda.
Miyamoto's not in
He
charge of
didn't even make
this.
this
Oh,
game.
no, back then he might have been Miyamoto. He was, I don't know. At this era of time, he might have been a bit. I don't know. Nowadays, he's more hands off with Zelda, but back then, he probably would have been.
Don't you know that's Ayanobora, whatever his name is? Don't you know it's whatever his name is?
When you look-
When did someone look it up? Because I don't care nothing. But like, when did he become the main producer? Because I know, like, especially during like
Majora's Mask
Ocarina
and
of
this.
Time, obviously. Was this okay? So Miyamoto would have had less of a role in Wind Waker.
Yeah, he's just a producer. Yeah, he was the director of Ocarina of Time, and then he was just a producer on Majora's Mask, Wind Waker, and the rest.
And then Twilight Princess is when he had his little like power grab at the intro, and yeah, blah blah blah.
Yeah, it said, well, yeah, Twilight Princess, he switched as directors and switched role. He started as a director and then switched roles with another person.
Listen, I just like making people jump, okay?
Hey, you know, some people are just really good at making millions of people push a button to make an electronic person jump.
I'll be honest, the first time I ever played a 3D Zelda game, I'm like, where the fuck is the jump button?
That's how I feel playing Luigi's Mansion. Fuck you, Miyamoto. Make Luigi jump again.
Make Luigi jump.
Perform a seance to summon Luigi's ghost.
I'm like trying to see how many games recently that Miyamoto has directed or developed, like not just as a producer.
I swear we went over that in an LP part at some point. We
Maybe.
literally went through Miyamoto's like gaming history, but please go again.
This
Well, but like, well, he's produced he's like the Steven Spielberg for Nintendo, because he's like had a producing hand on like almost all of their big games. But then when you actually look at his like directing, it's fairly small. Like he directed Ocarina of Time. He designed that Pac-Man Versus game
Damn, Miwa.
that was included in Pac-Man World.
Oh my god.
Fucking
Treated
pro
that room
stretch,
like it was
Phil.
fucking nothing.
That's how Mr. Steven. I'm not sure why that surprised you. It's how Miwa tweets all of us.
no,
No.
she also took damage, so you know, double damage is gone as well.
So Mexi's not. So Mexi's not impressed.
No, I'm
Well,
impressed.
she
I'm
took
just keeping
half a
track of
heart.
all of her stats right now, because you know, if she's not at max damage, then there's no double damage. But she still has another serving of grama soup, which is full of
I
abuelita
took-
freshness.
I took damage earlier from the lantern. I didn't take damage in that room.
Oh, fuck you, Lexi.
I took damage when the lantern hit me. I
Yeah.
did not take it from that room.
I do not like how these bird people have bills and lips. Their bills are their noses.
Yeah, fuck you, bird person.
The Zora's heads are their tails.
I know! What purpose does that serve?
Additional saltwater swimming.
She's also so pure. She's like, oh, I have an idea. How about we do this? Or, I hope you're not offended by it.
What does that have to do with her lips?
I don't know. That's just what she just said that right now.
What does it have to do with her lips?
Because that's what's coming out of her lips. It's her
She
dialogue.
used those
Ajoy.
lips to speak. That's why.
Okay. Also, between this game and the last game, what, 100 or 200 years, was it?
Okay.
Lexi, you should know.
Okay, it
Ocarina-
technically
Ocarina
makes sense
Time.
because, you know, fish go to amphibians, go to reptiles, go to birds. So there is an evolutionary link between fish to bird. And Hyrule has magic, dude. It has fucking goddamn magic, alright? So the fish
Not
people
in
could become
100
bird
years.
people. Anything's possible.
Excuse me, but when you have fish people and the whole world becomes water, wouldn't that just make them
would.
stronger?
It would. The fish traits would be more advantageous, but you know they wanted to have their male bird people, and I love male bird people. It does go against what natural selection would choose, but there's an evolutionary link. Like it is what happened. Like
There's not. Stop. You could say, yeah, Steven, you're right. That doesn't make sense.
no, I'm gonna I love Wind Waker. I'm gonna
You're
defend
like someone
it.
who's defending a fucking religion.
I'm sorry. No, dude.
Why? Why does Donald Duck speak weird? Daisy doesn't.
Exactly.
See me when you're asking the real
Sometimes it
questions.
doesn't make sense, and so it's like it's okay. It's okay.
He hasn't
Because
ta-
because he was born with a speech impediment, right? They
God.
actually referenced that in the DuckTales reboot, Miwa. So thanks for being so insensitive.
Ah,
Very
dude,
good.
I
Yeah,
love
because
the
old-
DuckTales
because
reboot
old-
so much.
Well, because the
It's so
old
fucking
the old Huey, Dewey, and Louie had his kind of speech impediment, but the current Huey, Dewey, and Louie don't.
What? What?
Oh no, she got crushed.
No, I would, Stefan, I would disagree with that. I wouldn't say classic Huey, Dewey, and Louie sound like Donald Duck at all.
Well, they have this like same kind of like quacking
I
style
couldn't
of
agree
voice.
or disagree with Stefan because I never listened to what he's saying.
Although maybe to lead credence to that, in the DuckTales reboot, when they showed a young Donald Duck, they did bring back Russi Taylor to do her classic Huey, Dewey, and Louie voice for young Donald Duck.
Why? No, Miwa, why don't you just like side scuttle into the stone? It's just a prop that you can just like slide behind.
How would I get Medley through?
Ah, okay, fair enough. We're
Steven, Minnie Mouse or Daisy Duck? Pick one.
Well, Minnie Mouse implies that there is Massive Mouse. Have you not seen that meme? I love that meme so much. And
what
by the
the
time this comes out, it'll be irrelevant. But I love that.
I've never even heard of that. What the fuck does that mean?
Minnie Mouse implies that there is Massive Mouse.
That's so fucking dumb. I love it.
It's great.
When I hear Massive Mouse, I just think of Big Chungus, but with Mickey.
yup.
But
Oh my god.
but you asked me would I prefer Daisy Duck or Minnie Mouse? Definitely Daisy Duck because Cloaca.
Dude, Daisy is an icon. Daisy has pure sass. She's a working gal, but she loves her man. Like, if you don't
Yeah.
stand Daisy, get the fuck out.
What's your
It's all
opinion on
about that
Clarabelle
cloaca.
Cow?
Fuck yeah.
She great.
Like, Goofy needs to just let himself love again, and I think Clarabelle's that gal that Goofy can just,
No, she knows. Sylvia from Extremely
I know
Cutesy Movie.
there's timelines, all right. There's two different. Clearly, there is a timeline break where you have the House of Mouse timeline and you have the Extremely Goofy movie timeline.
House of Mouse timeline.
Yeah, I'm pulling a
Right.
Nintendo here. So Goofy is happy in
think-
all timelines.
I don't think you guys know what a cloaca is, but alright, see you
I
next
don't.
part.
I'm
everybody.
scared. What is it?
I do.
Nope, see you next part. Miwa knows.
I don't. Tell me. We're not going. Damn it! Till you tell me.
It's a hole.
See you next part, everybody.
It's a hole where they pee and poo,
And also reproduce.
and also lay eggs. It's the only hole they have.
Yeah, so
Bye.
Daisy Duck's cloaca, man.
Steven, you're fired. You too, Stefan.